All right, everybody, ready for a deep dive? Let's jump into the world of 3D printing.
Sounds good to me.
We're going to be talking about how this tech, 3D printing, is kind of shaking up supply chains, like
Yeah.
big time. We found this super interesting snippet from Masood Khan's Supply Chain Savvy podcast, and it's gonna be our launching pad today. He lays out some really cool advantages of 3D printing.
Awesome.
Now you're probably thinking, why do I even care about supply chains?
Right.
But seriously, it's fascinating stuff, and whether you're into tech or business or just like curious about how things work, 3D printing is something to like really pay attention to.
It's huge. I completely agree.
Okay, so Khan, this podcast guy, he kicks things off by talking about on-demand production. So instead of like making tons of stuff and crossing your fingers, hoping it sells, 3D printing lets companies make exactly what people need when they need it.
Yeah.
Um,
Think about it. Like a clothing company, they only have to produce the exact sizes and styles that customers order online. No more, no less.
Wow, that's wild.
No more wasted fabric, no more huge warehouses full of unsold inventory. It's a game changer in terms of efficiency and sustainability.
So cool. And he also talks about how 3D printing is all about customization. We're talking like personalized phone cases, custom fitted prosthetics, things that used to be like
Yeah.
super expensive to make because you needed all those specialized tools.
Totally. And this idea of like extreme personalization, it really speaks to this broader trend, right? People want unique experiences, personalized products. Something 3D printing delivers better than anything else.
Totally. Okay, now this is what really blew my mind. Khan's third point about supply chain simplification.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine a world where like almost everything is made locally. We're talking about cutting down on all that shipping we rely on now.
Exactly. Local production means faster delivery times, less reliance on those crazy global shipping routes. And you know what? It could even reshape global trade as we know it. It's a huge deal.
Wow. That's pretty profound when you think about it.
It really is.
And of course, we can't forget about spare parts. Waiting weeks for a replacement part for your washing machine, that could be a thing of the past.
Right.
3D printing means you get on-demand solutions, your machines are up and running faster.
Think of how much downtime that eliminates for businesses.
Mm.
Spare part management is a huge cost for so many industries. And while 3D printing might not be the answer for every single part, it offers a really compelling alternative.
It's amazing. Like, I'm just imagining, like, walking into a store. I need a new knob for my coffee maker, and they just print it right there. How cool is that?
That's the dream.
Yeah.
But we do have to be real about the limitations here. We can't 3D print everything.
Right.
Material constraints are a big one.
Uh-huh.
And scaling up production to meet, massive demand, that's still a challenge.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's easy to get, like, swept up in the excitement, but we gotta think about the practical side, too, right?
For sure. And this leads to some really interesting questions, like what industries will be most impacted by 3D printing? And what are the unforeseen consequences of, everyone using it?
That's a great question. I mean, there's so much potential, but we've got to be aware of the downsides, too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to recap, we talked about how 3D printing allows for on-demand production, mind-blowing customization, streamlined supply chains, and like a whole new way to think about spare parts.
And it all boils down to this. Could 3D printing lead to a future of like decentralized manufacturing? A future where individuals and small businesses can design and create like never before?
That's an awesome question.
It's certainly something to think about.
It really is. That's some food for thought.
Yeah.